Hey, everybody, we're back with part two of mistakes you should never make in business. And I gave you the first four yesterday, and I told you it was 10. So we got six more to do today. All righty, we're going to go ahead and get started. So I hope that if you didn't listen to the first video, I hope that you got the first video. So which we done yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and go on with the other six. So where you cannot make these mistakes when you are out here thinking about your vision and developing your vision. And these are very important. So please, if you didn't see the first four, please go back and look at them. So we're going to go ahead and finish and do the rest of them today. All right. All right, number five is going to be, well, let me recap and give you the 1 through 4. I explained them to a little bit yesterday, but I'm just going to recap and give them to you. One, ignoring the market research. Number two is understanding financial requirements. Number three is overlooking your business plan. We talked about that in depth. And number four was neglecting your legal and tax obligations. So we don't want to do any of those things when it's concerning our business mistakes. Please don't do any of that. No matter what business you start, you will not succeed making these mistakes. Okay. Alrighty. Now, also, you do know about FinCEN since we are talking about number four. FinCEN is that registration that you have to do if you start your business, LLC. A LLC or a C corp or S corp or incorporation. And I did a video on who would be required and who would be exempt from it. Well, most of you in business, more than likely, I'm sure that you will need to register. Now, you need to register if you've started a business here in this year, beginning 2024. You need to register within 90 days. I will say go ahead and do it as soon as you get your approval for your LLC or whatever kind of business, or your S Corp or C Corp. Go ahead and register it. It's on the website. It's a FinCEN. I think I have a link to on one of the videos of how you can get to it. And then also, if you started your business before this year, you want to make sure that you do this registration by the end of this year, beginning of 2025, January of 2025. But I wouldn't wait around and do it. I would just go ahead and handle my business now. Okay. And then also the registration, make sure you have your ID, because you got to give them a copy of your ID. You got to take a picture with your camera. And I think they have a little system. If a lot of you are doing it from your phone, they have a way that you can take the picture with your phone. Just to give you some little tips, make sure your lens clean, and make sure that, because I had to do mine a couple of times because they said they couldn't read my license and things like that. So just make sure that you do, you kind of got you prepared, got all your documents, you have your EIN number, you have your address and of your business and stuff and things like that, and who's the sole owner. If you have a partnership, of course, both of you guys' information may be needed. I'm not sure, but just in case it is, and it may be only accept one, but just to just to make sure you ain't got to worry about logging out the system and then going back in doing it over. Just make sure you have all those documents right in front of you when you're getting ready to do your registration. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and begin and finish the rest of this that we're going to do today here. The mistakes that we make, you shouldn't make when you're starting a business or even growing a business. You should already be very conscious of these things. Now, number five is going to be in undervaluing your products and your services. Now, you're pricing your products too low. Now, it's not advantageous for you to get out here and just say, oh, okay, but they doing the same thing I'm doing. Let me go ahead and price my products like theirs. Let me go and price them a little bit higher or a little bit lower to try to beat the competition. No, you don't do that. You calculate all of your operating expenses. You calculate, there's a formula to it. And I'll tell you all of this in detail in another setting or whatever, but just to let you know what you basic things that you do, and we can kind of work this thing out together, and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about, of how, give you an example of it. But just say, you have operating expense, not your direct costs and your direct labor, those are not included. But what you should do is add up all your operating expenses, add up all of your expenses together, and then whatever your expenses is, and from the revenue that you want to make, then you come up with your kind of like your break even point. That's what you need to do. And then you can price your products, but it's a formula to it, okay? And that is very important. So you won't get yourself in trouble with yourself for is not making money and not profiting on your business and things like that. You won't make that mistake if you do that. But this is one of the mistakes that we make in business. We don't get everything that covers the cost and then knowing what kind of profit we're going to generate. We don't do that. So it's important to price your products and services and competitively at the same time, but you need to know exactly how much it's going to take for you, whether you're going to have you do the formulas differently, whether you have a product, a digital product or service or whatever, and then you have, whether you have other kind of like a coaching service or something like that, and whether you have like a digital service. Those are all calculated differently and you're going to all come out, it all depends on the business. And then if you got products, physical products, because you're going to have to price those products according to how much it's going to cost you to, get the materials to make one unit of the product. And then there's a formula to that. Then you go from there. Okay. Now the next thing is ignoring customer feedback. Now, I know a lot of people always say, yeah, we don't do business with black businesses and things like that. Well, a solution to that problem can be, well, tell them what they're doing wrong. And if you are a customer of a company, but that's not only the one, but there's many others. But I just want to, I do know that one is a very well known, thing that we always complain about. But here again, if you are the one in business, let's flip the strip here. If you are the one in business and each customer you serve, you should want to survey them, find out did they like your service or whatever, give them an option, give them an incentive to find out, get some feedback on your your customers, how they're liking your product. I do that all the time with my clients, customers. I want to know, how did I serve you? What can I do better? And if you're fine with me, then okay, that's fine. But you're not going to be able to please everybody in business, but you want to know how can you get better. And then you just got some people that's just, no matter what you do, you can't please them. But when talking about them, you're going to have those here and there. But just any kind of negative feedback or any kind of feedback you get, you should just look into it anyway, just in case. And that's going to help you in business as well. So that is one way too that you would, these are one of the ways that one of the mistakes that we make in business as well. Not getting feedback and ignoring customer feedback, or just straight out not getting it, not knowing. Okay. Now the next thing is going to be, which would be number 7, is going to be, we fail to delegate. We fail to give other obligations, or we fail to just, we want to be this one man show all the time. And sometimes we may have to outsource some things. We may have to, here again, we may have to hire someone. We may have to subcontract a job out, 2 or 3 or 4. We may have to do some of those things. And when we do, it's going to make our business better. It's going to leave us less stressful. It's it's very crucial to the success in our businesses. And then, we won't experience burnout, and then so easily to give up on our vision, because we going in all different directions, all kind of directions. So that is another mistake that we make. We fail to delegate. So don't be that one to do that. Okay. And then also, when you are delegating, and if you need to hire someone, you need to put them in your budget. That goes back to pricing your products or services. You got to slide them in there too. Slide your employee in there too. And then even whatever kind of task you have them doing, and even yourself, you need to add yourself in there too. But like I said, it's a whole formula that we'll go through on another day, and we'll talk more specific about how we price products and services. Okay, number 8 is going to be another mistake that you make, underestimating the mistake of marketing. Okay, everybody don't know you exist, but everybody is in your niche and that need to know about your product or services, and that's probably potentially would be one of your customers. They need to know you exist. So a good way to do that is some form of marketing. Okay. maybe you're not as visible enough. Find out, you need to find out ways, how can you be visible, and then how can you reach out to your customers? What kind of marketing plan or marketing strategy come up? I think every 3 months you need to be trying to come up with more ways to get out here and let people know you exist. Okay. And then also a form of your marketing is how you going to keep those people that already come and see you, like if they you introduced to you. And I think they said, I don't know, I think it's like, it's about 7 or 8 times that a person really have to see you in order to maybe to make one transaction with you. They have to repetitively see you over and over and over again, so they before they even buy. So look, they got to kind of like know you and see you, and you got to kind of stay in their face a little while. And that's why too a good lot of the brands, and I mentioned to you yesterday, and I gave an example. That's why some of the brands, and like for the Super Bowl, the brands that's been around a long time, they're probably more than likely to get out here. And then you may find some new companies out here introducing something really cool and kind of classy or whatever. But you're gonna see the commercials over and over and over again. You notice when a person is marketing out here, you don't just see them a few times, you see them over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. So that's a good way to not be in the mistake category. Get out here and market. Don't underestimate your importance of marketing. Now, the next one. I know a lot of you guys, you do this, but you're out here, but you're not out here with a purpose. Okay. And the number 9 is going to be a lack of online presence. A lot of you are online, but you're not running your business for is online. You're out here online, taking your selfies, and you're trying to let everybody know how godly you are and all these good things and all of this and that. Yeah. But if you have a business, you need to be coming up with your plan to strategize that business and have that business out here. Now, mostly I would tell you, you don't really have to get a website, not like you used to. But one of the most important things is getting out here in the social media presence, finding out where your audience are. Your audience are. And if a website don't fit, some businesses really, really need a website these days, but then also have a landing page or a link page or some kind of digital presence. And as it's so much more to talk about that with that, to get into that, but I don't want to go on a rabbit hole today with all of that. It's so much more to pack with that. Getting out here digitally, then this is a mistake that we're making. We're not getting out here digitally like we should. And like I said, there's so many tools, business tools can come in this category as well, with a lack of online presence. Okay. Because there's multiple ways you can be online with your business, doing membership sites, being online with getting out here, doing Zoom classics, doing webinars, doing a whole lot of things, connecting with people, connecting with your potential clients through email marketing, coming up with courses, text messaging, all those things. So like I said, I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole today with all of those options out here. Okay, now the last is resisting adaptation to innovation. You always got to know what's going on. Sometimes I'm not talking about you got to grab the next big thing all the time. I'm not talking about anything like that, but you have to stay relevant to the upcoming trends and the way things are going. Not so much as getting into a trend that is not going to be around a long time. Getting into, just being more flexible and being out here, just like Toys R Us and what you call Toys R Us had that problem, and also Blockbuster had that problem with when they didn't grow, like they didn't stay relevant and they didn't adapt to the innovation. So they thought that everybody was going to stay. Blockbuster thought everybody was going to stay renting movies. Well, Netflix came and changed the game for them. Toys R Us didn't think that the online presence was important, and then a lot of time, even Sears and even some form of J.C. Penney, some of the retailers, the big retailers that we know. Although Penny's is still, J.C. Penney's still around, but Sears pretty much had to just go. They had to really change their business model and shrink it drastically. Thank God they end up staying in business, but Everybody else wasn't so fortunate, you know. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about, and that's what I'm speaking of. So those are all of the ones that I just want to tell you about, the part one and part two. And I just told you, we I just want you to digest this information, and I want you to really think about this when you are out here in the world of business. I want you to say, okay, I need to be very I need to pay attention to these things that she just mentioned, because these are the most important things that you can just know when it comes down to you growing a business, and you are being in business and you're being successful. Don't make these mistakes, because these mistakes can cost you dearly, and it can keep you to just wanting to give up and just thinking that, hey, this business thing is not for me. But yes, it more than likely, if it's here, and if you come up with come up with your plan, it's going to be successful for you. It's not going to just blow up overnight, you guys. And another thing you need to do, you got to be patient. You got to be patient with the process. You have to be patient with your business. You have to be patient with your ideas, patient with every step of the, every step. And you got to be patient with your strategic aspects of your business too, as well. Strategic strategy is so important. And making sure that you're taking action on some of those things is going to change the game for you. Okay. So that's going to be it. All right. So you have a beautiful, beautiful day and the rest of the evening. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the next video. Okay. And have a beautiful afternoon. And I'll talk to you later. And also, if any of you want any more information about how to, the tools that you need for your business, click the link in my bio and you scroll down and you'll see where I have a product. I have one of them is like, it's a $27 product, one of them. And then there's some more general free information for you too as well. So look, in this year, get the information and get activated and in get consciously thinking about how you're going to grow in business and make it thing happen. Okay. All right. I'll see you then later in the next video. Y'all have a beautiful day. Bye bye.